Welcome back to Rowdy Rooster Woodworks. Today with this entertainment center we are going to make the cabinet section of it. These are the panels that we have to create, so let's get started. We're making another panel. This is a glue up. What we're doing is marking out where the dominoes are going to go. And we'll glue this panel together and get it ready for cutting. All four panels will be assembled in a very similar way. Just like the previous panels we have put together, we're just gluing, installing the dominoes, and assembling. Now I'm just clamping this panel and putting it with the others, and we'll start laying out for our bevels and the dado that we have to put in. As a note, using a piece of angle iron will help ensure that your panels stay flat during the glue up. Prior to cutting and shaping this piece, just going to start cleaning it up and getting the first round of sanding done ahead of time. When you're sanding flat pieces like this, it's good to note that you want to maintain a pattern over and over again. Don't stay in one area or try to apply pressure in a specific area. It just leaves a divot that you can feel with your hands. Now that our panels are prepped, let's cut our 45-degree miters and our dado in the back. What I'm going to do here is we need a reference. We need two references at a perfect 90 degrees in order to work from there. I decided to use the track saw to get my reference points. It was much easier than trying to run it through the table saw. Let's use the digital angle finder to set our blade to a perfect 45 degrees. This tool is invaluable for this. Just simply attach it and turn the knob. Using that reference that we set earlier, we're going to cut our first 45 with the table saw. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting 45 degrees one time on each panel first, and then I will take my measurement precise and cut them all at the same time so that they are uniform for my second 45. Now that I'm measured precisely, I can cut my next 45 and they'll all be exactly the same. Now we need to put this dado into our panel. So we'll set up the table saw. We'll cut the 4 panels right away. I installed my dado stack. Now we're just going to use a setup gauge to set the height to 1/4 inch as per the plans. This is another one of those things where you want to do them all at once so that they're perfect. It aids greatly in assembly later. So we need to cut this dado for our shelf later. It is 1 inch wide and 3/8 of an inch deep and 15 inches long. So we're going to start our layout so we know exactly where it's going to go. And then we're going to use a flush trim bit with that template you see above me there and cut it right out. Where uniformity is key, don't hesitate to make a quick template out of MDF or melamine or whatever you have lying around. It'll make sure your 2 pieces are exact, and assembly, like I said before, will be much easier when it is time. And there we go. Now we have a dado. So we'll just clean up the bottom and those corners, which won't take very long at all. And that part of this process is complete. Time to lay out for our dominoes on our 45-degree miters. So what we're going to do is get everything in plane with itself, and we'll use a block cut to whatever width where we want to place the domino, and use that as a template all the way through to maintain uniformity. With everything marked, we'll cut out for our dominoes on all our panels and start getting ready for assembly. Now that all our panels are cut out and ready to go, it's wise to put our drawer slides in first, so I put a special sheet for that to aid in layout. So we're going to set up our drawer slides on our 2 side panels before assembly to make the whole process a lot easier. So using our layout off this sheet, we're going to establish our spacing. There also is a setback for the drawer face. So I just ripped a piece of melamine to the thickness of the drawer face, and so they can all butt up there and be in the perfect position. With our first slide measured and perfectly in place, I just cut another spacer to put the other 2 in. Same thing on the other panel. And that's all you need to position these slides. Just using that spacer again as per the drawings to set our last slide on this panel. and we'll use the centering bit and screw them right in. If you don't have a centering bit like this here, strongly advise getting one. They're very, very, very handy to have. Okay, all our slides are screwed in, ready to go. We'll take the jig off and let's mask everything off so we don't make a glue mess during assembly. With everything masked off, we're gonna glue, put our dominoes, and start assembling our cabinet unit. This part of the process is fairly straightforward. Just take your time and put it together nicely. And this is the same thing for the other side. A little bit of glue, some dominoes, and we're going to place this other side panel. Now that our two side panels are on, we can slide our back panel into the dados that we cut earlier. More glue, more dominoes. We're finally getting closer together. We'll tap this into place and then we'll get on with the next part of this project. Alright, not too bad. We'll put these strap clamps on, start tightening everything into place. Gonna have to maneuver things or wiggle things a little bit just to get the front, the reveal, to look as nice as possible. So a little tap and a little movement, but we're gonna make it really nice. Couple extra clamps, tighten everything to its final tightness, and we are done with this part of the process. Now we can start working on the drawers. We built them earlier. Now it's time to install and put the faces and the hardware on. It's a good time to slide them in and see if the layout that we used earlier worked. They should all fit nicely and be ready for their faces. We'll know in a couple minutes. First things first, we'll lay out some holes. We'll drill them ahead of time. These holes will be used to screw from inside into the drawer face. I like to use the pocket hole screws for this. They're nice, they're flat, they look good. Use whatever screw you'd like. With all our holes pre-drilled, it's time to start setting the spacing for our drawer faces. I'm using one of my setup blocks again, and we're just going to play with it till we have an 1/8 inch all the way around. And we'll use those clamps that I have installed, keep it in place while we screw it later. I decided to clamp these drawer faces all at once. I wanted to make sure my spacing was perfectly uniform, and the aesthetics, this is what you're going to see, looks the best it can be before I commit to screwing in the faces and setting them permanently. There's a lot of time invested in getting all this spacing right, and this part of the video is quite long. Most of it's because these videos are paired with the plans. They're not necessarily made for YouTube entertainment. They're to go with the plans and help guide in the little details while building from that particular set of plans. I mean, if you like them on YouTube too, all the better. Now that the drawer faces are locked in where we want them, I'm just going to drill myself to a little pilot hole just to kind of get the screw going. Maybe not split anything, not that that's likely to happen, but it's a good thing to do. So we're going to pilot into our drawer face and then screw the face to the drawer box itself. With all the faces installed, it's time to install our drawer pulls. I'm just measuring out center here. I'm checking it left and checking it right. If there's a slight difference, mark in the middle. Just make sure you're consistent on all 3 drawers. Then we're going to put our jig there, lock it in place with a clamp, and we'll pilot the holes for the drawer pulls. And here I'm just piloting the holes for the drawer pulls, and there's my wife there, brought over the peacock to say hello, or pea-chick, who's just born a couple weeks ago, or hatched I should say. These furring strips are installed top and bottom. They add a bit of depth to the piece and help create the illusion that this cabinet is somewhat suspended within the entertainment center itself. So I'm just laying out the inset here, which is shown on the drawings, and I'm simply going to locate them, mark them, glue them, and brad nail them into place. Now I'm just drilling the pilot holes to attach it to the entertainment center itself for later. And we are done with our cabinet unit. Here's the overview. Our spacing is beautiful, our drawers pull nice. It is ready to be installed in our unit when we have it complete. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.